Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I want to talk about the fleet updates that we got with the Ascension Season Update. Now, before I dive too far into things, chapters will be listed down below for those of you that would like to skip ahead to certain holdings. And as for the actual contents of the holdings here, you do have to have the holdings completed and fully built out to access most of these rewards, as far as I understand. So you need to have like the Dil Mine Embassy and each of these other holdings at their max level in order to see the additional items that are now available through them. The new items will be consisting of duty officers, admiralty cards, and of course the new bridge officers that they added over at the Fleet Embassy. And I will tell you right off the bat that the bridge officers are going to most likely be the only thing here that most of you care about. The admiralty cards that they've added and the new duty officers are, for the most part, fairly underwhelming. So I'm going to head over to the embassy now and cut ahead so you guys don't have to see the lovely cutscenes here. So at the Fleet Embassy, you're going to head to the turbo lift and head to the operations level or ops. And if you're on the KDF side, the console is going to be down in the center area. If you're on Fed, then everything's up on this upper level. Now, if you're looking to get the bridge officers, there are new male and female Romulan bridge officers that they've added that have SRO for engineering, tactical, and science. The rare male tactical that had SRO no longer exists. They have now made it a very rare and added in the female version also. When you're going to buy these, you do need to be careful because there is a separate set of very rare bridge officers that have superior subterfuge, which is specifically a cloaking boost, whereas the bottom set here has superior Romulan operatives. So before you click the button to buy them, be careful and make sure you're buying the right one. Now, when you're buying these, you do need to go to your stations tab and make sure that you do not have 15 bridge officer candidates. 15 bridge officer candidates is the cap for your candidate roster. So if you have 15 there, it's most likely not going to let you buy from the vendor here. So clear up a bridge officer if you're at 15 or commission it. Just do whatever, get it out of the way. And when you buy these things, you should be able to buy one, commission it, and fully put it on your roster, and then be able to buy another. So you should be able to buy multiple of the same ones. I've heard that some of these might be having some issues, but the way it's supposed to work is that you can buy one, commission it, and then buy another of the exact same type if you want. So that's the big thing for this update for a lot of you, and the cost is going to be 160,000 fleet credits and 34,000 refined lithium per bridge officer. So that is going to be, if you're going and gearing out a full character with 5 bridge officers, 160,000 fleet credits times 5 bridge officers is 800,000 fleet credits, and then upwards of another 200k worth of dilithium to get those. Now let's go check out the new duty officers that they've added. So these are at the console that is directly across from the turbo lift. And you're going to hit the button to requisition duty officer, open up the store. And here we can see the new DOFs that they have added in. And they're just upgraded versions of the existing duty officers, and you're going to see this across most of the holdings. So the very rare ones cost you 125,000 fleet credits, and the new ultra rare ones cost you 500,000 fleet credits per duty officer. The very rare one here, if I look at the adds electrical damage to stasis field, the very rare one provides 9.4. The ultra rare one provides 9.4. And this is going to be very consistent on most of the holdings, that the ultra rare versions of the duty officers have the exact same boost that the very rare would provide. So basically, you're paying 4 times the price to get an ultra rare duty officer, and the only benefit of that is maybe it has a better chance in some DOF missions. and you get an extra trade on it, which only really benefits you if you're trying to do some specific DOF missions. And then the Admiralty card here is going to cost 500,000 fleet credits and 100,000 refined dilithium, and it is the RRW Hevron. Now, sad research over on Reddit has thankfully went through and bought all of these Admiralty cards over on the Triple Test server so we can see the numbers on them. The RRW Hevron from the Fleet Embassy has 39 inch, 41 tack, and 45 psi, and the effect on it is minus 25% maintenance per small craft. So, and I think this is going to be a common trend as we go through the holdings here. I don't think the Admiralty cards are worth buying, especially given that these are per character, because I was stupid and bought this on my KDF, and, I'm on a different character, and I obviously don't have the Admiralty card, so just be aware if you're buying these things that they are character specific, so 500,000 fleet credits and 100,000 dilithium for an Admiralty card probably isn't worth it for most of you. Okay, and now I'm at the Fleet Spire, and when you beam in, this NPC is going to be directly to the left in this little kitchen area, and that will happen. Of course, that will happen. No, I'm just going to leave this in because this is just how... Is the server down again? Fuck's sakes. And over at the Fleet Spire now, if you want to go and get the new stuff from here, it's going to be straight into the left as soon as you beam in on the map. Same over on the KDF side. In this little dining area, talk to the requisition personnel officer, open the store. And the Admiralty card is the VSS Trodoon. And what this does is 32 inch, 31 tack, 63 psi, plus 35 psi when alone. Now let's take a look at the new duty officers here. So the new duty officers do have a new effect compared to the previous duty officers that we had in here. But what's really odd to me is that all four of them are the exact same thing. They're all just having the effect of turning your tractor beam repulsors into a pull. I don't know why they're not different abilities, but all four of them are pretty much just copy paste and they're all doing the same thing. Now, the issue with these is that they're 500,000 fleet credits and they're just an alternate version of a DOF that you can go and get on the exchange. That's under operations, tractor beam officer. And when I looked at this a couple hours ago, they were like 10 mil. Yeah, grab them all. And the KDF one is follow Kev. So you can either pay as little as 10 million EC on the exchange, or you can go to your fleet holding and pay 500,000 fleet credits for a duty officer that will turn your tractor beam repulsors into a pull. This is a case again of I don't know what they were thinking with some of the decision making here. I don't know why they didn't do something different with some of these. Like, I don't get why all four of them are the exact same thing. That just seems very, very lazy to me. And, that they had plenty of opportunities of things to do with these new duty officers. And they don't actually do anything new. So, everything here at the Fleet Spire, the DOFs, I'm going to have to say to pass. And the Admiralty ship, I really don't. I mean, the Admiralty ship, it's the cost. If it was cheaper, it'd be fine, but it's just too expensive for what it is. Okay, over at the Fleet Dilithium mine now, when you beam in, it's this personnel officer that you see off to the right. So it's if you look at the map, he's at the bottom left of the inner room here. And this is the NPC that you would want to go and talk to buy the new duty officers or Admiralty cards from this holding. Now, this is probably the most underwhelming set of duty officers yet, because these are just ultra rare versions of the existing duty officers we have here. There's one new DOF for each type, and it's again 500,000 fleet credits. There's no, effect that you're going to get from slotting these. These are basically just useful for a couple DOF missions, and You're paying 4 times the price to get that additional trait on them. You see how the other ones have 4 traits, the ultra rare has 5. So that's what you're paying for. And then Admiralty ships here, we have the FMS Purple Drems. Of course, you know, it's referencing the typo issues that the game has. Drems, I paid good latinum for that custom registry paint job, and they spelled it wrong. So they're having a jab at their own typos that they have on everything. And the Purple Drems has 58 inch, 34 tack, 34 psi, plus 20 psi and tack when alone. Another Admiralty card that I doubt any of you are ever going to purchase. And over at the Fleet Research Lab, the little console that you're going to want to talk to is at the right side of the map, or to your left when you beam in. It's just above the bridge officer vendor, so turn left when you beam into the map, and it's this first room here that says research above the door, and it's straight into the left. Right next to the bridge officer vendor is the duty officer store, and this is the new duty officer that you can get. This new duty officer is the one that they showed on stream. It can do 3 different schools. In fact, let me just buy it quick so I can show you. Do I have a DOF that I can delete? Yeah, let's just delete that one. So I'll show you the stuff here. Research lab scientist. It can do beam, cannon, and projectile schools. It doesn't have any space effect. And of course, it's got 5 traits. Now, if you're wanting to more wisely invest your fleet credits, I would highly recommend just buying the boxes here that have the very rare quality duty officers. These cost you 30,000 fleet credits per, and you can buy, you know, like 16 of these things for the cost of this one ultra rare DOF. So the choice is up to you. You can have 16 crafting DOFs that are very rare quality, or you can get a single ultra rare duty officer that will work for these 3 specific schools. You know, I think it's very obvious the better choice is the very rare ones there. So I can't recommend the ultra rare one unless you're someone that absolutely has to have it for your collection. But I would just go for the very rare ones. And for the Admiralty ship here, it's the KIS Antiquity. I pull that up in this Reddit post again. This has 26 engineering, 34 tack, and 66 science, minus 25% maintenance per psi ship. Yet another one that will see very, very little use. And over at K13, the NPC or vendor you'd want to talk to is going to be at the bottom left corner of the map next to the tailor. So just head over to the bottom left part of the map here. And straight in this room to the left is the personnel officer, and that's who you'd want to talk to. The new ultra rare DOFs that they've added are all consultants. They all offer you increased skills when using commander bridge officer abilities. These are all 4 of them are the exact same thing, and we have a situation very similar to the ones that they had at the Spire, where these don't make much sense. Especially if you look at the very rare ones. The very rare ones, there's different ones that trigger off command ability or commander abilities, ensign, lieutenant, lieutenant commander. And then we have these ultra rare quality ones where the only things these trigger off of is commander rank bridge officer abilities. Now, a reminder for those of you not aware of what commander abilities mean is this, you see the 4th ability here on this bridge officer. That is the only commander ability I have on my ship. Now, these duty officers, the buff you get from them has a 25% chance to go off, and it will last for 15 seconds. That means whatever commander ability you use would need to go off at least every 15 seconds in order to keep or potentially keep stacks up from this duty officer. Now, an added negative to these duty officers is that you cannot slot these on ground. Most consultants can be slotted on ground. However, these K13 ones have to be slotted in space, which means on top of them just being all built for being triggered off of commander abilities, they're going to also eat up your valuable active space duty officer slots. So really not worth it. And hopefully they go through and change these so that they're the different ranks. But this lazy copy and paste job that they did is just sort of frustrating. And then the Admiralty ship is the USS Reykjavik. And it has 22 engineering, 57 tactical, and 38 science, with minus 25% maintenance per attack ship as its unique feature. Yet again, pretty much another set of things here that you can just ignore. And over on the fleet colony, we're going to want to head over to the personnel officer here, which is all the way up on the 3rd level. So just find the staircase and go up to that level. And once you're on this level, it's at the top left corner. If you look at the minimap, you see the personnel officer. So it's this walkway here where you can see the waterfalls. That's where this personnel officer is. And that's the actual name that's going to pop up is commission duty officers. Go to the store and you can see the new ultra rare DOFs and the Admiralty card. Let's start off with the Admiralty card, the LSS we got. And it has 23 engineering, 50 tact, 53 psi, plus 8 tactical per any ship you have slotted. Again, cost 500,000 fleet credits, 100,000 refined lithium. Bit of a joke, but it is what it is. Now, for the DOFs that they have here, you're going to notice the research lab scientist is actually a direct copy and paste of the research lab scientist that was over at the fleet embassy. So this is nothing new, and that means that it does the exact same thing that the very rare version over at the fleet embassy did. The bottom one here is a security officer that has a chance to beam down additional Kentari security escorts when using security team. This is the only duty officer out of all of them they've added to all the holdings that is actually what you could consider new. This is just an alternative version of the security officers we have, though, that would beam down just additional security escorts when you hit security team. If you use this duty officer, and you can use up to 3 of them, then you would beam down Kentari security escorts instead of normal security escorts. Whether or not that's worth 500,000 fleet credits to you is up to you, because those security officers are generally only a couple million on the exchange for the normal ones. And those of you that have been looking have seen that this top one is an Ox to Bat Technician DOF. And you're probably sitting there thinking, well, this is ultra rare quality. The rare technicians have an 8% cooldown reduction when you hit Ox to Bat. The very rare have 10%. Certainly, this ultra rare one would have 12%, right? Right? Nope. It's just a copy and paste of the very rare one, and is just 10%. I bought one of these over on my KDF character to confirm, and even on the Ox to Bat tooltip, it showed as 10%. Given the cost, I would like to see Cryptic go through and change this to 12%, given you're paying so much for it. But it just seems really lazy to me that it is a direct copy and paste of the very rare version. And I feel that way about a lot of these DOFs. There's quite a few that I've shown you that are just copy and paste. And the cost of 500,000 fleet credits is just absurd. Ox to Bat DOFs that are very rare quality, you can obtain free through some commendations, through some DOF chains. Like for the Ox to Bat ones, I think it's the Betran cluster colonization chain that you can go and do to get very rare technicians. You can buy them off the exchange for a couple mil per. If you're wanting us to pay 500,000 fleet credits per for these duty officers, then there needs to be something to incentivize us to want to spend that amount, because just making them ultra rare quality is not good enough. The ability that they have on them needs to be improved, because I see no reason why I would want to go out and buy that duty officer there when I have a set of technicians already on my characters that does the exact same thing. Like you see this, 10%. This one from the Fleet Colony, 10%. So why would I go out and buy new ones when I already have purple ones that do the exact same thing? Just doesn't make sense to me. And that's really how I feel about most of this update, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, you guys let me know down below whether or not you think any of this is worth it. The Admiralty cards, I just don't think are good enough. And once again, thank you, Sad Research, for going over to Tribble and getting pictures of each of the cards from over there, because this just none of them seem to be worth the cost. You know, if you wanted to go out and buy all 6 of these for a single character, that is 600,000 lithium and 3 million fleet credits that you'd be spending to buy all 6 of these Admiralty cards for a single character. And then all of the new DOFs. Thankfully, the DOFs don't cost a lithium, but the fleet credit cost is just enormous, and there's no real practical gain from getting them. It just most of this just doesn't make sense to me. The only thing here in this entire update that people are going to care about are those Romulan SROs from the Fleet Embassy, but the rest of this just seems like just a standard cryptic copy and paste job, you know, to be honest. Like, it just feels lazy. Like, I look at the Fleet Spire, where it had the 4 DOFs that all did the same thing, or A13 that had all 4 DOFs that did the exact same thing, and it's just lazy to me. Neok over on Reddit has pictures of the DOFs also, and like they're all just lazily designed, in my opinion. Like, it just feels like there was not much effort put in here. You know, when they have 4 DOFs that they're adding to a holding, you know, they could have put in 4 different types of DOFs that have 4 different abilities. Instead, they put in, like on the Fleet Spire, 4 DOFs that all do the exact same thing. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyhow, I've been talking for a while now. You guys let me know what you think about all this. Is there anything here that I've shown that actually excites you? Are you as underwhelmed as I am? You know, there's a lot of hype for this fleet update, and it's quite a bit of a dud. It's basically just the SROs, and at the end of the day, I just do not see most people going out to buy these other things. But that's going to be it for this video. Once again, thank you all for watching. The next Stowe video will probably be out Friday. Tomorrow is just probably going to be a news video and a no-game video that I've been working on. So yeah, I'll probably do like a breakdown of the new lockbox stuff on Friday, if I can get my hands on it. Otherwise, that video might end up being pushed back to the weekend or something. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.